Let's get some analysis now from Tommaso Della Longa. He is the spokesperson for the International Federation of Red Cross and Red Crescent Society and joins me live now from Geneva. Tommaso, thank you for being with us on the program. Now, with all the damage that has been done by Israel, 500 truckloads sounds like an insufficient amount, let alone 5. What can you tell us about the humanitarian situation on the ground in Gaza right now?
Yeah, first of all, thanks for having me this morning. Well, what I can tell you about the humanitarian situation is that it's simply unbearable for the people living in Gaza. It's what we can call a nightmare, a catastrophic situation that every day, I would say every hour, is worsening. We are talking about a situation where 2 million people don't know where to go, where to stay, where to find food, where to find clean water, where to find adequate health support. And this, we have been asking for with the same calls since the beginning of this conflict, and sadly, these calls are still unanswered. So basically, we really need to have a different humanitarian operation, more humanitarian aid entering the Gaza Strip, safety for civilians and humanitarian workers.
If we look at the 5 truckloads that have been allowed in yesterday, apart from food and hygiene products, medical aid is a dire need across the Gaza Strip. And from my understanding, there aren't any medical aid products in those trucks. How will people manage? How will medical workers manage in the hospitals across Gaza as Israel continues to increase attacks there?
It's almost impossible to continue working. The health system is basically destroyed. I mean, I want to highlight the immense, incredible work of our colleagues of the Palestine Red Crescent, who are still doing the utmost to serve their communities with absolutely limited capacities. I mean, I can give you some numbers. Almost half of the health facilities of Palestine Red Crescent ceased the operation because they don't have any more the means to continue. Chronic disease are no longer being treated, and you can imagine the suffering of patients with cancer, with diabetes, with kidney in needs of kidney dialysis. The suffering is just increasing. Half of the ambulances of Palestine Red Crescent are not anymore working because or they are destroyed or fuel is not anymore there. So the situation is very complicated, it's keeping deteriorating, and the reality here is that if someone inside the Gaza Strip needs some even basic health support, most probably will not get it. And this is why it's so important to get humanitarian aid in as soon as possible.
Right, and the Israeli military has been ordering civilians to evacuate from densely populated areas, most recently Khan Yunis. As we know, when people are ordered to evacuate and are forcibly displaced, they can only take so many things with them because there aren't any forms of transportation across the Gaza Strip that they can use to move from place A to place B. How are these evacuation orders going to exacerbate the situation on the ground for the people?
Thanks a lot for this question. I think it's very important. We have been saying the same also on this point since the beginning of the conflict. The problem here is that first, the civilians must be protected and respected in every situation, whether they stay or whether they leave. But then, going back to your question, it's almost impossible for the people in Gaza first to get safety, but also to continue being displaced from one place to another. Is not. In all this conflict, we're not even anymore talking about, a population going from place A to place B. Now we're talking about communities that are displaced 12, 13, 14, 15 times. They don't have anything. They don't have the means to live. And still, they are trying to find safety for their relatives. And it's also good to remind that, after a disaster like, let's say, earthquakes that both our countries, Italy and Turkey, are prone to that. We are used to see tents, filled kitchens, water sanitation, filled hospitals. Well, in Gaza, this is not possible. It's simply the logistics is not there, so people are really struggling to find the basics.
Okay, Tommaso Della Longa, the spokesperson for the International Federation of the Red Cross and Red Crescent Societies. Thank you so much for being with us here on the NewsHour and sharing that insight with us.
Thank you very much.